Hey everyone, and welcome to another video from the Cards of Dogtown, coming to you from deep in the hills of West Virginia. I'm Keith, and in today's video I'm going to show you my 20 favorite New York Yankees cards from the 1950s currently in my collection. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Coming in at number 20 is this 1952 Bowman Jerry Coleman. Mr. Coleman debuted with the Yanks in '49 at 24 and played parts of 9 seasons with the Bombers. He was the AL Rookie of the Year in 1949, was an All-Star in 1950, and was the World Series MVP during the same year. Mr. Coleman played in 6 World Series, winning 4. He also served as a combat pilot in both World War II and the Korean conflict, earning 22 medals for his exemplary performance. After his playing days, Coleman was a radio broadcaster for the Yankees beginning in 1967, and moved on to the Angels for a couple years, and then became the lead broadcaster for the San Diego Padres in 1972, a job which he held until his passing in 2014. In 1980, Coleman decided to try his hand at managing and came down from the broadcast booth to serve as the Padres manager. He was elected to the Hall of Fame as a broadcaster in 2007 and is one of only 2 men honored with a statue outside of Fatco Park. At number 19, we have this 1954 Gil McDougall. Mr. McDougall broke in the big leagues in 1951 and played 10 seasons with the Yankees. He beat out Minnie Minoso for the Rookie of the Year in 1951 and appeared in 8 World Series with the Yankees, winning 5 of them. He was an All-Star 5 times during his career. Coming in at number 16 is the 1955 Bowman Allie Reynolds. The Super Chief broke into the bigs in 1942 with the Cleveland Indians and was traded to the Yanks in 1947, where he would spend the next 8 seasons. During his career with the Bombers, he would appear in 6 World Series, winning all of them. He was a 6-time All-Star and holds the record for most no-hitters in a season when he threw 2 in 1951. He is honored with a plaque in Monument Park at the stadium. And spoiler alert, this will not be the last time you see Mr. Reynolds in this list. At number 17, we have this 1952 Eddie Lopat in the red and the black versions. Mr. Lopat began his career in 1944 with the Chicago White Sox and was traded to the Yankees after the 47 season. He was a starter for the Yankees during 5 consecutive World Series victories from 1949 to 1953. He was an All-Star in the 1951 season and served as the manager of the Kansas City Athletics after his career in 1963 and 1964. At number 16, I have the 1953 Topps Johnny Mize. The Big Cat came to the Yankees in 1949 and finished his career with them in 1953. And he was also a member of the team that won 5 consecutive World Series championships. He was a 10-time All-Star, a batting champion with the St. Louis Cardinals, and was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1981. At number 15, there's the New York Journal-American Allie Reynolds. These cards were distributed in the Journal-American newspaper and were used in a little lottery-type game where if they called your number at the bottom, you would win specific prizes. These cards had players from all 3 New York teams at the time, and the backs had the home schedule of each team on them. Coming in at 14, I have the 1956 Topps Elston Howard. Mr. Howard was a bridge player playing with the Kansas City Monarchs in 1948 and began his MLB career with the Yankees in 1955. He appeared in World Series with the Yankees from 55 through 58 and again from 60 to 1964. He also appeared in the 1967 Classic with the Red Sox and in the 77 and 78 series as a coach with the Yanks. He was a 12-time All-Star, a 2-time Gold Glover, and the AL MVP in 1963. His number 32 has been retired by the Yankees, and he has a plaque in Monument Park. I love this card. The action shot in the background looks like whoever's trying to throw this dude out at home threw horribly, and Elston's trying to jump up and grab it while the old boy sneaks in behind him. At number 13, the 1955 Whitey Ford Red Man Tobacco issue. The chairman of the board played for the Yanks from 1950 through 1967, missing 51 and 52 for serving in the United States Army. He returned in 53 and completed what was arguably the strongest rotation in the history of baseball with Allie Reynolds, Vic Raschi, and Eddie Lopat. He was a 10-time All-Star, appeared in 11 World Series, winning 6, and won the 1961 Cy Young Award winner and World Series MVP in the same year. He is the Yankees' all-time leader in wins and was inducted into the Hall of Fame with teammate Mickey Mantle in 1974. His number 16 is also retired by the Yankees, and he has a plaque in Monument Park. At number 12, we have the 1955 Bowman Phil Rizzuto. The Scooter played 13 seasons with the Yankees, losing 3 to military service in World War II. He was a 5-time All-Star, appeared in 9 World Series, winning 7 of them, and was the 1950 AL MVP. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1994, and his number 10 is also retired by the Yankees. After his career, Scooter spent 40 years behind the microphone calling Yankees games. Coming in at number 11 is the 1957 Don Larson. I love the 57s my entire collecting life, and though this one's just a portrait shot, the back is the reason I chose this one. If it'll focus. The first line on the back reads, "Don pitched the greatest game in baseball history during the 1956 World Series." Yes, Mr. Larson, you did. Don pitched 14 years for 7 different teams, played in 5 World Series, winning 2 with the Yankees, and was the MVP of the aforementioned 1956 series. And now, my top 10. At number 10 is another appearance by Mr. Allie Reynolds, the 1952 Topps Redback. I love the smile on his face here and that contrasting yellow background. This card has obviously been enjoyed by its previous owners and was the first 1952 Topps that I ever bought. Number 9 is the 1954 Topps Billy Martin. The spark plug of the early and mid-50s teams, Billy came to the Yankees in 1950 and played parts of 7 seasons until he was traded to the Kansas City Athletics during the 1957 season. He was an All-Star in 1956 and was a winner in 4 of the 5 World Series that he played in. Number 8 is the 1959 Topps Words of Wisdom card with Mr. Perfect and the Old Professor. Manager Casey Stengel spent 12 years with the Yankees, winning the pennant in 10 of those years and winning the World Series in 7, including the possibly unmatchable 5 straight. The color combo of the red and yellow doesn't really catch my eye, but the look on Larson's face as he has that curveball grip, and Casey's either showing a knuckle grip or doing a terrible tiger imitation. Cartoons on the bottom of the back here are confusing, to say the least. You know, a goofy card that I can't help but laugh at every time I look at it. My number 7 card marks the second appearance of Whitey Ford. This time on his 1957 Topps. The trademark fake follow-through with his legs far apart that is surely generates absolutely zero velocity on the throw. Try to sell it a little bit better next time, Edward. At number 6 is the 1956 Topps Phil Rizzuto. Phil's little Cheshire Cat grin on the portrait and the look of fear in the back on that action shot are amazing. I'm not sure who that Mack truck looking dude was wearing number 31, but I don't think I'd be blocking the bag for him either. Even more Topps goofiness is displayed on the back in what I think is the baseball version of a flying Walinda walking the tightrope down the first base line. Glad there's a big green number 1 on the bag so we weren't confused. My number 5 is who Steve Chapman would call the man, the myth, the legend. My 1959 Yogi Berra in a PSA 3. Yogi played parts of 19 seasons with all but 4 games of his career as a New York Yankee. He was an All-Star in every year from 1948 to 1962, a span of 15 consecutive seasons. He was a 3-time AL MVP and finished in the top 4 of MVP voting every year from 1950 to 1956. Arguably the greatest catcher to ever play the game. A Hall of Famer, his number 8 is amongst the Yankees' retired numbers. Sorry, Bill Dickey, I don't have any of your playing days cards yet. At number 4 is the 1954 Whitey Ford. I had to make myself whether the 53 or the 54 Topps is my favorite design, but everything about this card just pops with me. From the baby blue background to the 2 photos on the front with the 1950s team logo and the multicolored backs. Hard to pass this one up. At number 3 is my 1951 Bowman Tommy Henrich. Tommy played 11 seasons with the Yankees, wrapped around 3 years of service in World War II. He was a 5-time All-Star, played in 4 World Series, winning all of them. I love the pose on this card, and the color is amazing, especially for a 75-year-old card. Looks like a couple of wax stains on the back, and there's a barely noticeable bend on the front of this card in the lower right-hand side. But those imperfections only add to my fondness for this. At number 2 is this well-loved copy of the 1953 Topps Whitey Ford. This was my favorite card of the 1950s in my collections until this year when it was barely beaten out for the top spot. Again, the color on this one is very nice. And it was only recently that I realized the image is the headshot of the smaller action photo on his 1954 Topps. Still looking for my copy of his 51 Bowman rookie, but this one will do nicely right now. And lastly, my favorite Yankee cards from the decade of the 1950s is this 1953 Bowman color Allie Reynolds. It's not a very valuable card, but I love the different elements of the photo used. The scowl on his face, like he was checking the runner over at first base and daring him to take a bigger league. The old stadium freeze in the background with a massive light bank over his shoulder, and the 50-year anniversary patch on his left sleeve only add to my enjoyment of this card. The back is clean, but you kind of want the stats for the 1953 filled into those boxes at the bottom. Thanks for hanging out with me while I ran down this list. My favorites from the 1960s are on deck next, so keep an eye out for that one soon. Until then, go Yanks, go Birds.